Right. A very good afternoon to all the esteemed guests on and off the dais, senior scientists, esteemed faculty members, and everyone gathered here today. I, Koshki Shishu, Assistant Scientific Officer FSTR, would be the moderator for today's event. Today marks a very special day as Amity University is honored to have the gracious presence of Dr. Rajesh Ghangal, who is a remarkable scientist at the Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology, for a focused talk entitled The Funding Opportunities at DBT. We wholeheartedly welcome you, sir. Our distinguished guest of the evening, Dr. Rajesh Ghangal, brings an abundance of knowledge with him to Amity University, and we are affirmative that his rich research experience will significantly impact and intrigue our audience and further motivate them to pursue science and innovation to further heights. Throughout his career, Dr. Rajesh Ghangal sir has demonstrated a thorough commitment to advancing knowledge in his field and fostering meaningful dialogues. We are extremely confident that today's lecture will inspire thought provoking discussions and provide valuable insights to every individual present here. Without further ado, I would like to request Dr. A.K. Singh sir, Senior Vice President, Amity Foundation for Science, Technology and Innovation Alliances, to initiate today's program by delivering the welcome address, followed by a brief introduction of Dr. Rajesh Ghangal to the entire audience and esteemed dignitaries. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Koshki. Good afternoon and namaskar to all of you. I think at the outset, let me welcome Dr. Rajesh Ghangal. You know, we all are delighted to have you on our campus at MIT University, Noida. Today's program is part of the new mission which has been launched by Honorable Founder President. That is mission where we say welcome, focus, discussion, and implement. This is to invite leaders who are at penultimate level, means who are to reach at the final level in few years, to understand their vision, to seek their guidance and help, and thereby strengthening our research ecosystem. Because they are the leaders of tomorrow. Though we are not undermining the top brass, but this is the class, or this is a cohort which will be leading everything tomorrow. And as I understand that focus discussion of today will be highlighting two aspects. One is the research funding opportunities from DBT. DBT is a very important department for biological research, and at MIT, the majority of research is being carried out in biological sciences. So that adds to the importance which MIT attaches to DBT. Though DBT is the youngest department out of all 3 or 4 funding agencies, and it came to highlight one in the COVID time because that department was steering the vaccine development, and the first DNA vaccine in the world was given by this country with the help of or by in the under the aegis of DBT. Today, Dr. Gangal will be talking to us on the funding opportunities, in particularly in the area of neurobiology. Dr. Gangal, let me share with you, we at MIT have a very strong neurobiology institute, which is headed or led by none other than Dr. B.N. Malik, who is sitting here. We will have his comments and views on this also. He is a former professor of JNU and Shanti Sarup Bhatnagar awardee. And just few lines on the neurobiology, but how, in what way I look at the neurobiology. Neurobiology, though it has always been a very important area. And I had always found it a bit difficult because of its complexity. And it had been the special interest of researchers to understand and decipher the brain functioning and its development. And with the availability of tools and techniques which have, which are made available to us maybe in the last decade or so, the understanding of brain functioning and brain development has enhanced, be it in the field of molecular biology, tools and techniques of molecular biology, or imaging, particularly the MRI. When we talk of MRI, then when we talk of functional MRI in the imaging, and in the imaging, if we talk of the nuclear medicine imaging, we talk of PET imaging. They have given a new dimension in understanding the functional connections between various brain functions and also visualize the brain activity. And also map the neural networks underlying various cognitive processes. And when we see a new terms are being created, we used to see the omics studies. Now connectomics, it is a new branch or term which we are talking in terms of the neurobiology. And since MIT, attaches the very large importance to the AI. And in the recent past, the neurobiology draws further larger attention because of the intervention of AI. Psychologists and biologists are already there. And though I'm not from this field, but I feel in times to come, the amalgamation of at least these three specialties will take neurobiology to a different level in understanding. And you all must be reading in the newspaper in the last fortnight, the Elon Musk is adding a new dimension to this. For the, what he said, the neural link or a neural lace. Now, what I read in the newspaper that, the brain-computer interface or brain-machine interface, now a person is able to, just implement some of his commands without, without wire. So this kind of research and outcome we are expecting. Now, I will stop here and I'll request the program to go further.
Thank you, Dr. A.K. Singh, sir, for the warm and insightful address. Now, may I kindly request Ms. Harjinder Kaur, Assistant Director, FSTIA, to share with all of us a brief presentation on Amity Education Group.
Thank you so much, Koshki. Good afternoon, everyone. It is with great pleasure that I extend a warm welcome to all the dignitaries on and off the dais. We are truly honored by your kind presence. Before I start the presentation, let me share that at Amity University, we stand as a beacon of academic excellence, a testament to transformative power of education. It is a place where diversity thrives, where ideas flourish, and where individuals are empowered to unleash their full potential. At Amity, we nurture talent. Meet our visionary leader, Honorable Founder President, Sir, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan. His mission, passion, Junoon is to make India 2030 knowledge superpower. He quotes, when God pushes somebody, inspires somebody, leads somebody, no power in the world can stop such a person. Meet our dynamic leaders, Dr. Atul Chauhan sir, who has studied from University College of London. He's a Chancellor of Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, and Dr. Asim Chauhan sir, who have studied as from Wharton Business School. He's a Chancellor of Amity University, Haryana. At Amity University, we have an excellent research and development ecosystem where we intend and support our members. We have world-class infrastructure, human resource, enable process mechanism where we collaborate. We have Industry Connect. We are the facilitator for the group, and we do mentorship. I will share the achievement of Amity University at a glance. We have 2 lakh plus students, 10,000 plus faculty members. We have 28 schools and preschools. We have 12 universities, one where we are right now, Noida campus, Lucknow campus, Gwalior campus, Jaipur campus, Mumbai, Kolkata, Raipur, Ranchi, Patna, Mohali, and Karnataka. We do have our presence in global as well. We have our universities and institutions in London, Dubai, Singapore, New York, and so on. I would be happy to share that we have 2,100 patent filed at our Amity Universe, where 600 plus patents are on biotechnology. Okay, I will. We have 35 technologies transferred. We have published 35,000 publications, and our H index is 133. I'll quickly go to the next slide. Some of our major research areas are neurosciences, nuclear science and technology, law, liberal arts management, followed by agriculture and other various courses. Amity visionary leaders emphasized on research and innovation for the societal impact. We are seamlessly connected with the stakeholders like university, industry, laboratories, and society. In-house, we have our IPR protection cell. We have Directorate of Innovation and Technology for technology transfer. We have DST Amity Technology Enabling Center, followed by others. Honorable Founder President Sir have emphasized Amity as a cradle of innovation and to facilitate to facilitate the same, he has created two divisions named at Amity Science Technology Innovation Foundation, which is ASTIF, and Amity Foundation for Science, Technology, and Innovation Alliances to facilitate research and innovation to all Amity University campuses nationally and internationally. These are some of our areas of research expertise: neurosciences, public health, molecular medicines, genome engineering, stem cell research, etc., followed by some more names. You can have a glance at it. Focusing on the research expertise, we also emphasize on quality human resource, which is our key to success. We have senior researchers and young, vibrant brains working seamlessly. We boast on having maximum Ramalinga, Ramanujan, Welcome Trust, and Inspire Fellows. At present, we are hosting 40 plus Ramalinga and Ramanujan Fellows. We have focus on professional development of faculty. We have Nobel laureate who interact with our faculty members and students. We have 260 plus honorary and adjunct professors. Moving to the next slide, these are some glimpses of our fellows. We have Dr. Manoj Garg, who is between us at the moment, who is a full-time professor at Amity University. We have Dr. Anvesha with us, who is working at the Neurosciences Division, followed by some more names. We have world-class infrastructure facility. We have state-of-art laboratories at in-house. We have research facilities to carry out research in molecular biology, biotechnology, agriculture, artificial intelligence, and neuroscience division. These are some more glimpses of our research facilities. We have facilities like FAST, SEM, TEM, confocal microscope, etc. I would like to take you through some of our research innovation at Amity universities. Some of the recent innovation at Amity universities are mentioned here. Targeted delivery of curcumin to cancer cells by triple curcumin folate conjugate. We have also transferred some of our technologies like Rotonics, which has been commercialized. The technologies marked in red are commercialized. You can have a glance at it. These are some of our technologies. You can have a glance of it. Herbal remedy for processia. I will just take a glance to it because of paucity of time. Okay, sir. Would you like to? Further technologies. Our technology has also gained attention of the media, which has been published, which you can easily visualize here. Some further technology, we have also, Amity has also developed an AI-based deep learning platform for drug reposing. Going forward, some of the iconic findings of Amity University are AI XR, AICT. Further, some of the technologies are as mentioned here. You may just have a glance, Amity Institute of Nanotechnology, some of our technologies. We also have received a project from DRDO, Dare to Dream, on AI-based identification of person using physiological parameters with budget of 1 crore. This project is executed through our faculty, Dr. Shivani Verma, startup, namely Indigenous Research Solution Private Limited. In our agriculture division, we have worked on post-harvest technology. We are also dealing with our farmers directly and providing them extension activity support. There are a group of scientists who are working on environmental toxicology, safety, and management. Several projects have been supported by DST, MOES, and so on. You just can look at it, followed by another journey of environmental toxicology, safety management. Amity University do not only have national grants, but we also have international grants like UKD and others. Defense Threat Reduction Agency has collaborated with Amity University to equip the Indian population for nuclear safety and securities. We have received a grant of 1 CR over here also. Amity University have a beautiful campus at Long Island, which I happened to visit very recently. And our founder president, sir, has envisioned to open Amity Global Research Hub there. At Amity, we have 296 international and national MOUs. We have connect with industry as well, like KPMG, and followed by others. As I mentioned in my previous slide, that we have transferred 35 technologies so far. So here's the glimpse of the technology which has been transferred. Further glimpse. I would be happy to share that 33 Amity University faculty members are in top 2% of global researchers list, which is compiled by Stanford University. At Amity, we have FRSC fellows, FRSB fellows, and MRSB fellows. Amity University has been conferred upon top Indian Academic Institute for Patents and Commercialization National Intellectual Property Award 2020. I am also glad to share that Amity University has been conferred upon CII Industrial Intellectual Property Award 2023. Further, these are some research initiatives taken by Amity University, research like in molecular medicine, stem cell, click chemistry, sprintronics materials, etc. So thank you so much, everyone, for your patience. And I would further look forward for a fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Harjinder ma'am, for the wonderful presentation. It is our greatest pleasure to now humbly invite Dr. Rajesh Khangal, Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology, to the podium and instill our bright and diverse scientific minds of Amity University on the title Funding Opportunities by DBT. We eagerly await to listen to your extensive expertise and perceptive talk of the day. Over to you, sir.
I think before he speaks, let's introduce him to the audience. Actually, Dr. Gangal, who belongs to Rewari, he did his schooling up secondary and senior secondary from the military school, Bangalore. He comes from the army background family. His father was in Navy. Then he did his graduation from Haryana, Yamuna and then shifted to Kurukshetra University, where he did his master's in biotechnology and shifted to Delhi to do his PhD. And then shifted to NIPGR, National Institute of Plant Genome Research, where he did postdoctoral fellowship. After completing his postdoctoral fellowship, then he had the stint of 4 years in teaching. He was teaching for 4 years in Manav Rachna, and in 2019, he got appointment in DBT. And for the last about 5 years, he had been contributing in DBT for funding various research projects, planning, implementing, and then during 4 years, he had been in the division of biomedical engineering, stem cell, and regenerative medicine. And when I was talking to him, he reminded me that I think last year, he had supported one project to MIT to Prakash Baligar. Prakash Baligar, I think we were finding if he can join us. And at the moment, he is leading as a senior scientist and the program office in the division of neurobiology. So over to you, Rajesh. I think we all are eagerly waiting to listen to you. And thank you very much for coming and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the brief provided, and thank you very much for inviting me for this focused discussion on funding opportunities. And it was heartening to know that Amity University is, very much focused to research and development and have IP and IP cell and various technology transfer being held at Amity University. Today, I'll be speaking on the funding opportunities in the department. And apart from that, I'll be speaking some of the mission programs or the flagship programs which I've handled in the past 4 years. As mentioned by Dr. Singh, sir, that in a short span of 4 years, I was able to, get a idea of biomedical engineering or stem cells and regenerative medicine, and currently with the neurobiology division. So the vision of the department is basically to attain newer heights in the biotechnology research and shaping biotechnology into the premier precision tool of the future for creation of wealth and ensuring social justice, especially for the welfare of the poor. And with this, we have nearly about 16 autonomous institutions and 3 PSUs through which we are, engaged with the research and development. Apart from that, the extramural research funding which we are providing, if you happen to see the footprint, it is all over the, the country. Now, the focus area of DBT happens to be like to create a vibrant research ecosystem, and by supporting, cutting edge research. And in the next few slides, you'll be able to see the various directorates and the program divisions through which we are supporting this. We also do promote academia and academia industry partnership through creation of biotech parks, and through BIREC we have been funding for the bio incubators, bio nest incubators, and BIREC happens to be our an arm which have really nurtured the startup ecosystem very well. As it has been quoted many times, in 2016, the biotech startups were nearly about 800 or so. Now it has reached to thousands and many thousands. Similarly, developing the critical mass or talent pool in the biotech system, the HRD division of the department have numerous fellowships. The one Ramalinga happens to be from the Department of Biotechnology only. So there are many. That was to bring back the scientists, to prevent the young minds going over there. I think we have started with the MK Bhan Fellowship. These are the persons who are just completed their PhD and looking for research within India. No need to go back, no need to go abroad. Such MK Bhan Fellowship is for that particular purpose. Apart from there, that there are key mission programs or flagship programs. Yesterday only we have 10,000 genome sequence का मंत्री जी ने close up का जो हमारा final report था, that was being given by the honorable minister. And apart from that, we also have international collaborations with various different countries, and individual country के साथ we do see that how do we place before them what are their strengths, what would be helpful. Either it could be through research programs, or either through it could be the exchange programs of the faculties or the researchers. So these are the 9 directorates which the department has, and against each there are different divisions which have been marked for. So currently, if you happen to, as you might have filled in the, for getting the projects, ePromise is the portal where you submit your proposals. So currently, the one emerging frontiers in biotechnology is the one which is mainly open. Rest, all the divisions which you happen to see, they would be mainly focused on the mission programs or based on the calls, right? So the emerging frontiers in biotechnology, fourth last, there is biomedical sciences and biological sciences. The biomedical sciences caters to all those, the stem cells, neuro, cancer biology. All these programs are being catered by biomedical sciences, while the rest, like aquaculture, marine biotechnology, agriculture, plant biotech, those will be catered by the biological sciences. Apart from that, one more in the field of information, in the directorate information systems biology, one division is cross-disciplinary and computational biology. This is also a division which is looking for the submission of the project as of now. Otherwise, the rest of the divisions will be focusing on specific call-based programs, call-based projects. No, sir. E-promise is open for these 3 divisions only as of now. ठीक है, पहले क्या होता था, ये सारे डिविजन्स के नियरली अबाउट ओपन रहते थे और फिर कॉल फॉर प्रपोजल्स भी हाँ, तो नाउ द फोकस इज मोर on to get the specific projects और डोमेन को इंक्रीज करने के लिए कि भाई हाँ हमें यही चीज, जैसे लास्ट ईयर हमने जब स्टेम सेल्स में थे, वी फोकस्ड ऑन कार्टी सेल्स थेरेपी के बेसिस पे हमने एक प्रोजेक्ट वो स्पेसिफिकली हमने एक कॉल निकाला एंड वी फंडेड 7 ऑफ देम. सिमिलरली स्टेम सेल्स में व्हेन आई वाज देयर, एनिमल मॉडल्स एंड ऑर्गेनॉइड्स के ऊपर एक कॉल निकाली थी. Till the time I was handling that, screening वगैरह हो गया था, but in the meantime I just got transferred to the न्यूरो में एक जनरलाइज्ड कॉल निकली थी, उसका प्रोसेस अभी चल रहा है. तो अभी जो होगा मेनली वुड बी द कॉल बेस्ड. जनरलाइज्ड जो रहेगा दैट इज जो 3 मैंने जो बताए हैं, एंड दीज वुड बी पीआई ड्रिवन एंड हैविंग ए बार ऑफ 1 crore. I think it's on the ePromise portal also. कि आपका एक PI ड्रिवन एंड 1 करोड़ से के विद इन होगा, दैट कैन बी फंडेड. सो द बार ऑफ द फंडिंग हैज बीन इंक्रीज्ड. अदरवाइज सिमिलरली जब आप I'll tell in the subsequent slides the limit of the committee कि भाई वो कितने तक के प्रोजेक्ट को फंड कर सकता है, that is also increased. I'll just let you know.
I spoke to Shinoy. I've been speaking to her today. She told me that Stack 1 will take care of this 1 crore. The Stack 2 will take care of the project beyond 100 crore, right?
There is no stag.
Stack 2. Stack 1 committee, Stack 2 committee.
नहीं. Yeah. So apart from that generalized the different divisions, the department is also considering this biomanufacturing part. So how this was it is a thought process of our secretary, which state which is for the to get the biological things done, or to replace the chemical synthesis through the biological synthesis, because in the coming times to reduce the waste generation, to use the resources, and the climate change, all these things to be taken care of, we will be using the biological system to generate either through microbial, cell-based or enzyme-based, to produce the commercially relevant compounds. So biotechnology happens to be a promising approach because we can alter the DNA part, and they can the cells can be considered as the living factories. We can effectively reclaim the resources from the waste also. So in this, there are nearly about 6 sectors which which we are looking for. That is the bio-based chemical and enzymes, functional foods, precision therapeutics, climate resilient agriculture. Basically, these are covering all the important the aspects. And to catalyze these different themes, we will be requiring these bio AI hubs and biomanufacturing hubs. If you happen to read, I'm not sure which was the newspaper, but the currently biomanufacturing hubs ke related, they have the BIRAC has advertised for last week mein hi aaya hai. So I think 23rd March is the last date. So the biomanufacturing in fact in the union budget abhi jo मंत्री जी ने श्रीमती सीतारामन जी ने जो दिया है, तो बायो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के लिए भी they have it has been quoted for, and the department has a budget specifically for this bio manufacturing company. जैसे डिपार्टमेंट्स के स्कीम्स होते हैं, तो लाइक वी हैव 2 स्कीम्स. एक R&D स्कीम होता है, वो जनरल रिसर्च पर्पस के लिए. एक होता है IED स्कीम. IED स्कीम आपको पता है इंडस्ट्री एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलपमेंट के लिए होता है. दैट इज फॉर स्टार्टअप्स, बायो इंक्यूबेटर्स, बायोनेस्ट. तो अब एक और है, दैट इज द बायो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग पार्ट, एंड डेजिग्नेटेड अमाउंट हैज बीन असाइन्ड, सो it will be coming up. Under this biomanufacturing, jo precision biotherapeutics, I was associated with the cell and gene therapy group. We had a stakeholder meeting. The experts from the area were called for, and why this was one of the emerging areas, because we see there is a increase in market cell and gene therapy across. Either we look globally, as we look from the Indian perspective, and gene therapy happens to be the potential because it addresses the root cause, the gene part, and towards the right, there are the various therapeutic areas where this cell and gene therapy can be incorporated. So during those stakeholder meetings, it was found that we should focus on 5 of the things. So it would be like whenever the call will be there, they would be focusing on either, the vector production facility needs to be improved. both in the lab and large scale, similarly with the cold. Definitely for this, as in the previous slide, it was the participation PPP, public-private participation. We will be involving the industry component also. Similarly, there were issues or concerns raised with respect to compliance and regulatory affairs. कुछ एक चीजें, like if we see during the COVID times, the projects which nearly took a year or so to get funded, funding was done within a month and all. तो काफी सारी चीजें ऐसी थी which can be improved and can be done at a faster rate. So now I think most of you would be knowing this, the evaluation process. First, there is an internal screening committee, which is basically we see all the basic the documents being submitted by the PI, how the project is well written or not, if it is incomplete, CV is not there. If generally सारी चीजें ठीक होती हैं, it goes through, then uska peer review, it is to be done by 5 of the experts, and we see that nearly about 2 or 3 experts do revert back, and we take it to the technical expert committee. The technical expert committee jo tech hai, that has the power to fund a project costing of 5 crores. Earlier it was, I think, nearly about it when we joined, I think it was just 24 lakhs. However, at that time STAG was there for the higher budgeted. Now the STAG is not there. Tech hai, or tech ke baad seedha apex body hai. So more than 5 crores, it's basically the apex body recommends it. So as I told, my talk would be more of the funding opportunities along with the major, there is some font size mein issues ho gaya, not an issue. But so biomedical engineering mein, we have, it's basically was for the focus area was the diagnostics, assistive technologies and therapeutics. On the left hand side, you can see the project which we have funded. 30% was for the assisted technologies, and for nearly about 47 was for the therapeutics. These are some of the results of the projects which were found to be interesting and have been populated in our annual book also. This is one of the programs which was very close to me, although when I joined, the phase 1 was about to over, and phase 2 was at its initial stages. Why it is very much interesting in the sense, the fellows, either it may be basically the project is given to an association between an engineering division, engineering institute, as well as a medical institute. Fine. So whenever the fellows were known as biodesign fellows, because, and it is for entrepreneurship development के लिए ये चीज दी जाती है. तो जब भी when the fellow comes, they form groups, they go to an hospital site for clinical immersion. So first 6 months they do the clinical immersion and see what are the unmet clinical needs which can be sorted out, or a solution can be met with engineering वालों की help से. Then they go to the engineering department and gets the solutions for that. So phase 1 we were having 4 institutions, and the phase 1 resulted into more than 150 innovators were trained, technologies were developed, and startups were created. On the figures are on the left hand side. Keeping that in mind, as we were able to get the startups and the persons were able to get the technologies transferred, the phase 2 was call was announced, and we were able to get five groups, or the biodesign centers. One was in AIMS, IIT and AIMS Jodhpur, KGMU Lucknow, and IIT Kanpur. If you happen to see, there would be a medical institution with an engineering institution. Only only the THSTI part was majorly they were focusing on in vitro diagnostics. So they came up, although they came up with an medical, because one of the criteria was they should have an association with both the things. So they came up with CMC Vellore and IIT Madras, but they are doing well as of now.
So it is more or less of the ERC, more or less of the ERC pattern, sharing the complementary expertise.
Definitely. So these are some of the, the success stories from the biodesign biodesign program. Earlier, it was termed as Stanford in India biodesign program, because when it was started in 2008, it was like the initially student we used to visit over there, get their immersion, get there, and then used to come back. After an association of, I think, 5 to 6 years, it was full-fledged within the country itself, and now there are international fellows who are coming for this school for international biodesign mein naam isliye because they had the aims. Delhi had an MOU with Japan counterpart, and their individuals are coming over here for the biodesign immersion program. These are the medical startups which the fellow themselves have created, and this is the footprint global market. जो उनका जो product था, they were able to sell, and they were, I think, 2 were FDA approved also. So this is basically the success of that program. This is the Health Technology Innovation Center at IIT Madras. These things are which I'm telling about the phase 1 में जो हमें successes मिले, just a glimpse of those particular thing. This was Bioengineering and Biodesign Initiative at ISC Bangalore. The result of this was they were able to, although manpower trained workshop और ये सारी चीजें तो हैं ही हैं, this was more or less focused to get a curriculum to be developed for a biodesign program. Now they have full-fledged, I think, a master's program with a PhD program for biodesign. So during the COVID-19, as I was associated with the diagnostics medical devices, so we were able to cater to the needs. So we created an hub and spoke model. Say we identified nearly about 30 institutions, and they were doing the testing part. And through the BIREC research funding, we were able to projects were funded for which their diagnostic tests were supported. Coming to the stem cell and regenerative medicine. So the division basically supports basic preclinical and clinical research, and department has also engaged with ICMR for creating the various regulatory guidelines for either usage of stem cells, and all those things were with the help with the association with ICMR. The CAR-T cell therapy, if you happen to see on the right hand side, this was the call which was given out, and 7 projects were funded, which were taking care or targeting the diseases such as acute lymphocytic leukemia, multiple myeloma, glioblastoma, ये सारी चीजें they were focusing on. A gene therapy program was also being initiated, and I'll be speaking this on my subsequent slide. Apart from that, animal model and organoid models was the call was out, and I think the screening and the subsequent full-length proposal is currently the concerned officer is taking care of. Regarding the gene therapy program, we had supported CSCR, that it is a stem cell research institute, and it is a translation unit of our DBT का जो INSTEM institute है, उसका translation unit है. They are doing hemophilia A ka, they are phase 1 clinical trial they are doing, and they have injected their construct into 3 of the patients for the vector 8, I think so. So, and it is found to be very much effective. Once they are done with that, the subsequent phase 2 ke liye, they will be coming for the funding.
Minister mentioned this in yesterday's speech.
Acha. National Science Day. This is CMC well जो phase 1 चल रहा है इसी पे चल रहा है. So I think it is a after a year of 6 years of funding, it has come out to the phase 1 trial. Although they had tried for earlier, they had tried for ABV vector based therapy somehow, because the Indian population has antibody and a generation of antibodies against the AAV vectors. So now they have switched over to lentiviral. तो जो ये clinical trial हो रहा है ये lentiviral vector based gene therapy से है. Currently, recently with the shuffle in the work allocation, neurobiology division I am taking after. So this particular division, apart from the various cellular studies of cellular and molecular level studies for the pathogenesis of the nervous system, we support cohort studies also. In the subsequent slide, you will see that we have a dementia science program running. It is across 8 institutions. And on the right hand side, definitely, as I told you, there are we will be looking for the call based programs. So apart from the ones which I have listed, it would be heartening to know if some of the topics, if you come up with, which can be, because definitely these are some of the topics which will be discussed in the stakeholder meetings, where we'll be calling the committee members also and the area expert members also, and it will be discussed at which things can be come up for the call for proposals. And one happens to be the gene mining and therapy for the neurological disorders. Because when we, while going through the gene therapy slide, the second number happens to be the central nervous system related gene therapy may nearly about 109 phase, either of phase 1, phase 2 or phase 3 clinical trials ki studies chal rahi hain. So we can look for them also. And as discussed by Singh sir, Dr. Singh sir, the brain-machine interface is an upcoming field, and definitely, although ethical concerns rahenge, but until unless we place our first foot forward, it won't be possible. So we may think for that also. These are some of the success stories which the neurobiology division has been taking since 4 or 5 years. This platform has been used by Dr. Suri from AIMS. He has developed them and he has patented some of the technologies he has developed. And this is the dementia science program, which is to study to estimate the prevalence and incidence of dementia and its subtypes. And it is being conducted at 5 medical institutions and 3 cohort studies, population-based studies. Somehow, due to the occurrence of COVID, because it is a cohort study, you have to go to the field. So the progress was hampered, but somehow they were able to. The target was, I think, 6,000 individuals to be identified in the population. So they have at least gone through and they have identified. Only thing is that their blood sample and all are to be collected. This was also one of the accelerator program for discovery of in brain disorders. It was being conducted at INSTEM Bangalore and NCPS Bangalore, where they were targeting or taking into consideration of the 5 brain disorders, schizophrenia, bipolar disorders. So they have nearly about screened 6,071 families. And they have generated iPSC lines also and banked them and characterized. I think they are also allowing, if anyone is interested to work on those lines which have been generated, because they have been well characterized, so they can be approached and they have a as they say, they have a clear cut, the हाँ, जो भी अगर आपको चाहिए तो they can be approached for. So apart from that, for the initially 3 years, I was looking after few of the European countries also. The calls were released and we were able to support. It's like they support their counterpart and we support our counterpart, and we were able to support some of the good scientific talent over here. And during the revival of CNRS France, they were of the opinion, they were not more into collaborative research. So we thought to get any of our institutions to get a certification more or less, ki bhai, instead of 2 research person ना आके 2 institution ही एक particular program को run कर सके. I think in the meantime I was being transferred. Similarly was with the Finland also. Finland में भी यही था. With the emergence of Business Finland, they were more interested in not on a research perspective. They want some business, like startup business, startup ऐसे को fund करना चाह रहे थे. So somehow we were able to release a joint call for the mobility of researchers. The call was out, and I think people might have went also there. This is my concluding slide, stating various opportunities as a career. जो HRD, Human Resource Development का, it's comprising of various fellowships and awards as such are not there as of now, because awards को सबको कंक्रीट करके विज्ञान रतन करके एक पर्टिकुलर सिर्फ एक ही मिलेगा. That will be, I think it is for 2 years. CSAR is taking care of for all the management. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh, for a wonderful talk. Not only just sharing with the various schemes in various fields, but also taking us through the various research projects which you could implement and what is the outcome and the trends. Wonderful. Now, we have invited, our faculty members as researchers from various departments. So I will request them one by one. They can identify themselves and then, raise your queries, comments, or any clarification, or you want to share any idea or anything with Rajesh. I think we can start with Madam.
Hello, sir. I'm from Neuroscience Department. My name is Dr. Angana Saikia. I mostly work on human EEG signal, and then I do work on artificial intelligence. Like mostly I work on machine learning, deep learning. And right now, with the help of our director, sir, I'm working on animal EEG. So presently, he is providing me some of the EEG, animal EEG signal, rat EEG signal, and then I'm working on it for detection of different types of diseases. And also we are trying to find out EEG as a biomarker in animal models for detection of Parkinson disease. So presently we are working on that. We have applied some of the project, and let's see, because right now we are not having any EEG machine. Like we're trying for that collection of EEG data in animals. So we are trying for that.
Animal model for Parkinson's?
Yes, no. Like we have animal models, but the thing is that we are unable to collect the electrical activity, EEG, from the animals. So, but initially I'm working on the data provided me to, sir provided us some of the, he had some earlier data on EEG, rat EEG. So I'm working on that. I'm doing programming on Python and for early detection, machine learning models for early detection. Yes, I'm doing on that. Thank you.
Very good afternoon to everyone. My name is Dr. Vijay Kumar and I am also working in neuroscience department. So like my research interest is largely focused on one of the disease which you have also mentioned, that is ALS. amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. So I was largely involved in understanding the protein folding, misfolding, and aggregation that is implicated in ALS. And I think in 2021, I got an opportunity to present that project also in DBT, in the AI call, actually, but not successfully like completed. So first round I has clear, but in second round where I have to present it, I did not clear that thing. And also recently I and one of the colleague from biotech department, that is Dr. Erindam, has also like cleared one of the first round applications, and the second round interview has taken place on 9th of February in DBT only. That was in call was actually in human genetic disease, rare genetic disease. So the same disease, ALS. So there we have proposed to target this ALS by some nano carrier. One of the carrier will be ribosomes. So we try to identify the ASO targeting through FUS. FUS is one of the gene that is implicated in ALS. We try to find certain ASO and siRNA and target them through ribosome to the delivery. So that was actually we had present, but still awaiting for the result. So on 10th of February, we had given that interview and yes, that presentation. So at least try 2 times in DVT, but see,
Let me put it in a way, like the department, the funding agency also do the third party evaluation, right? कि भाई तुम फंड कर रहे हो and बाहर क्या perception है, okay? And it was pointed out by the member, the chair. It was like the first timers are very less being funded by them. Like जैसे हर किसी में अर्ली कैरियर स्कीम होती है, हमारे में ऐसा स्कीम नहीं है, इट्स जस्ट कॉम्पिटिटिव रिसर्च है, कोई भी आओ, if we take that part it will be funded otherwise. So they were we were being suggested कि जो फर्स्ट टाइमर्स हैं और they are new to the research वाला, तो उनको we should promote. Let's see. But finally we are the ones we are obliged with the tech members also. We do say that these are the faculties who have recently joined. Definitely they will be, because everything depends upon the previous work done by the PI, है ना, जो data present हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा. तो if you happen to see जो e-promise का जो project का जो submission का है, it captures all those things. So उस वहीं से पता चल जाता है कि the faculty is new or not, or so we do support the new faculties for that. Let's see.
okay. Okay.
Which is there. Biocare is for specifically for the women who have a break. It's for them.
Good afternoon, sir. So thank you for providing insightful information about various schemes about DBT. Myself, Dr. Shruti Ahuja from Amity Institute of Biotechnology, and I'm a recent member of this institute. I joined in July. My PhD is, I'm basically a chemist. I did my PhD from IIT Kanpur in the field of bioorganic chemistry with Professor Sandeep Verma. And there, actually, I happened to work on amyloids. So as an inhibitor, so I kind of working on designing novel conjugates, novel molecules, small molecules, which inhibit amyloid fibrillation. So that was one part of my PhD project. But then later, when I moved to for my postdoc work as an NPDF, I actually exploited the other possibility of these amyloids. Like they have various mechanical properties associated with them, and the bio-nanotechnological aspect of that I have explored. And we have seen that from a simple, very cheap, commercially available protein, we can make hydrogels, amyloidic hydrogels, which have like, and I've shown there that these hydrogels have the capability to gel, and then within certain time period, they reverse back to the normal solution state, but having the same amyloidic structure at the molecular level. So it is like they, and I have showed it for the topical drug delivery application where these gels can be, taken inside the body, that perform their targeted function, drug release, and within a stipulated time, these will liquefy again and then will be excreted out of the body. So that was one of the work that I have done as an NPTF fellow at IIT Delhi. Continuing on those lines, I've also developed a biomaterial, means nanomaterial, on the scaffolds of amyloids, and I'm trying to use them for antimicrobial properties. So they have by far have shown very positive results on both susceptible as well as resistant gram-positive and gram-negative strains. So I've got some luck on that. And on the antimicrobial aspect, I am also onto the diagnostic designing of a device. We all know that hospital immune patients, hospital admitted patients, they are very immunocompromised. And very often we see that the routine test, they have a PCT test being done every now and then, whenever a person is ICU admitted or a normal hospital admitted person. This PCT test, when I spoke to some doctors in my family, they said that whenever the hospital has collected some amount of samples, then only they will be processed, right? And we all know that if the PCT level is very high, it's a biomarker for sepsis, and the antibiotic stewardship will be delayed. So we have made a device. It's a simple flow-through assay device which can be used as a bedside for patient, of course, used by the hospital personnel, trained hospital personnel, which can detect the level of infection in blood in just 7 minutes. In just 7 minutes. And we are also validating our results with MAMC. So we are getting some clinical samples for that. So I've also applied for IYBF, that International Young Biotechnology. Abhi 6th March is the last date. Last date hai. So I've just given that only as my proposal. Yeah.
The biomaterial and diagnostics ka jo point of care you're talking
Yes,
about,
sir.
we were looking after in the biomedical engineering.
Yes, sir.
If that has been opened, but the thing is, as I say, you can definitely apply on the biomedical science जो frontiers वाला है,
Frontiers, emerging frontiers.
उसमें तो you are open to all. अदर क्योंकि उसमें है कि पहले तो स्पेसिफिक था कि बायोमेडिकल इंजीनियरिंग डिवीजन विल बी लुकिंग आफ्टर डायग्नोस्टिक्स, पॉइंट ऑफ केयर डिवाइसेस,
Yes.
the hydrogels, biomaterials,
Yes.
all those skin का जो है, we have funded
Right, right.
such kind of projects in that.
Okay.
But now everything will be in the biomedical sciences. That
Biomedical
can be submitted.
Okay. Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Manoj Garg was a Ramalinga fellow. And at that time, the tenure was 5 years and he also got extension.
5+3, but I got 1 year extension, and then I have been absorbed by Amity University as a professor and assistant director. So first of all, I would like to thank for the project which you have given on the generation of induced pluripotent cell using a 3D gelatin-based system for antitrypsin alpha-1 deficiency, where Prakash Baligar is the PI and I am the co-PI, and there is another co-PI from IIT. So thank you very much for that. So at the back,
It was the seer in the sense ki the potential of the PI. It has nothing to do with the person sitting on this side, because it is the committee and the PI. We are just the mediators. है ना?
yeah, I know
He might have defended the queries put up by the committee definitely well, so it has passed.
I totally agree with you. So on the background, I have done my PhD from National Institute of Immunology, which is DBT institution. And now current secretary is also from NII, Dr. Rajesh Gokhale. He is our mentor. And then Amit Parikh, he is also there from NII as a scientist G in DBT. He is my good friend. So I have done my PhD from NII in cancer biology. Then I have been moved to University of California. So I work again on the genome sequencing of the cancer. And then I have been to University of Singapore for 7.5 years because my boss got the deputy director position over there. So I choose to be in the Singapore because it is closest distance to the India. So my Ramalinga project was also on the genomic mutation that we have found in the leukemia. And then we try to make a model. Okay, so we have created an animal model as well as the in vitro model. So we got the oligonucleotides which can be delivered and help in the inhibition of the leukemic cell. On that basis, I got the extension also. So apart from that, I am working on the pancreatic cancer, which is one of the lethal cancer. So recently, if you heard 2-3 days back, Pankaj Udas was died because of pancreatic cancer. Earlier, our defense minister Manohar Parrikar also died because of pancreatic cancer. Pancreatic cancer has been ignored by the clinician and the society because they think it's rare. But now as the diabetes is increasing and other liver problem or the insulin resistance is increasing, the pancreatic cancer are increasing. And it has been predicted by 2030, it will be the second largest killer than any other disease in the world. So my focus is on that killer disease. So as my expertise lies in the genomics, we have identified long non-coding RNA, which provide a complexity to the coding, and then it control miRNA. So it's another layer of complexity in the genome, which had not been revealed earlier. And one link RNA we have solely discovered, and it is in the name of Ameti also, that locus. So now we have synthesized antisense oligonucleotide and have done the animal testing with the Regional Center for Biotechnology, Faridabad. And we got one grant on the nanoformulation from ICMR recently. So in this call, I want to apply that nano-mediated delivery, which I think might qualify for the gene therapy because the oligonucleotide, antisense oligonucleotide is against a gene.
As of now, there is no call open for that particular.
Yeah, no call open, but
but-
I will apply this time in the biomedical.
Biomedical wale mein, हाँ,
And
उसमें
then
कर
once that call is open, I will go for that
सकते हैं.
also.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Basically, जो bio manufacturing वाला है, that would be a very large scale पे.
Yeah.
It would not be a PI driven or उसमें नहीं होगा. It would be a greater reach and greater person will be involved. Only one my query is there. जैसा आप बोल रहे हैं, you are working with the pancreatic cancer. ठीक है, you are your genome सारी चीजें कर रहे हैं. Just wanted to know whether the anything like can the cancer be cured with the food we intake, or because food intake if we change, because cancer is a genetic disease or a metabolic disease, it's अभी ये आया है question mark, otherwise long run it was like a genetic disease only. So just wanted to know anything you have come across.
So cancer is not only metabolic, genetic, it's also include epigenetics and environmental factors. So if you look at the phthalate and plasticizer or fertilizer or pesticide, they also contribute because they can change the genome or the expressions. So there are multiple factors. So as you said, food is the one thing which you can control and will make you healthy. Then exercise is the second thing. But when you get something change at the genome level, even you are taking good food and good take care, it won't help. So for that reason, we need the therapy. This is my.
Yeah, in this context, actually, you are telling about the Mayfield, right? That recently, actually, every 2 adult, we have a metabolic disorder. that in India, in NCR region, because it's done in Institute of Liver and Biliary Sciences, and paper also published. Anyway, I'm Professor Subrajit Biswas. I am Director, Amity Institute, Molecular Medicine and Stem Cell Research. And I came in Amity in 2017. And you told about NICPR, right? That is National Institute of Plant Genome Research. You did postdoc. In 2005, I was scientist over there because my boss is Ashish Datta, who is a founder in NICPR. So maybe you were a little junior to me. And after that, I left the job, scientist job, and I was in US for almost more than decades, 1 decade. Then my expertise on mainly hematopoietic stem cells. So always stem cell regenerative medicine in interested part. So first time after coming back from USA, I joined Institute of Liver Biliary Sciences. So my work and project, everything started around the liver microenvironment and tumor microenvironment. Even Amity also, I have a whatever the established lab I have that have a all crosstalk between all the cancer cell, what are the stromal cells, and like hepatic stellate cell, endothelial cell, macrophage, NK cells, those how it is interacting and how we can dissolve this microenvironment not to go towards the cancer, or if it is go to the cancer, how we can recover this disease. So the first DBT project started from here only. My lab started with the DBT only, and it's finished in 2022. That project that is on SMAC mimetic. It is actually one proteins called IP inhibitor of the apoptosis. So if we the inhibit that one, so that is a one molecule, so we can reduce the cancer burden in the hematopoietic stem cell. So normally throughout the world, even Australia and the US, lot of competitor over there. So my area is based on the stromal cell. So stromal cell, that IP protein is overexpressed and where we are inhibiting. Now question is, that is only IP is not a factor, because if you use any drug, that also patentable, and 2 patent we applied. And what patent is granted last year, actually, the little bit targeted therapy one. So that is also part of DBT macrophage one. Yes, so it's already granted because it's a nano-based delivery of the mRNA system. So in the ACC, one particular mRNA is downregulated. So make the bipeptide nanoparticle tag with the microRNA, then in the specific ligand-based delivery into the directly hepatocellular carcinoma cell. So that pattern already done. Even Harjinder already showed in the one slide there over there. So even similar kind of the work of the Professor B.C. Das are also working, who actually made this institute. So actually it's a curcumin based, the therapy of the cervical cancer, nano based. So we have a vibrant faculty like Monod also with me, and we have a 17 faculty now. So all are in cancer based study here in AIMSR. When last year also there is a one LOI, but it did not work to us somehow. Cancer disease. Yeah, because my project was based on a nano ghost. Shonda was handling that one, I know. But anyway, turn off. No,
No, but one project.
yeah, only one project came. Yes, yes. It's a Beneath came. Yeah. So that is where our running lab. You are most welcome to visit our institute also, facility, because we have a DST feast project, as well as we are running all of the faculty at least 2 to 3 projects, because I completed here almost 7 projects from the MIT within a 5-year span. So that is why. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for this wonderful presentation on your scheme and exploring the way how a person can put the several project in the DBT. Myself, Nitin Sharma, I am working in the MIT Institute of Pharmacy, and my domain is in the development of a novel drug delivery system for targeting any kind of the disease, specifically the brain. Currently, I'm working on the Alzheimer and the multiple sclerosis, along with my teammate, Dr. Bhupesh Sharma. We are having the expertise of making or replicate any kind of the animal modeling in this neurodegenerative disease, including the ethylene bromide induced multiple sclerosis or DSS induced the Alzheimer disease. My part is ki I am working on the improvement of the bioavailability of any kind of the product, whether this is the herbal product or any kind of the pharmaceutical product for the brain delivery, because there is a BBB, which kind of the barrier or the hindrance for the uptake of the any pharmaceutical products. So my part is making the drug in such a way or designing a delivery system in such a way that the means we can bypass this BBB through the transferrin or the olfactory region, which is situated in the nasal cavity. So we are using the approach from nose to brain delivery directly, or we are ligating or making a complex of the pharmaceutical product with the transferrin, which is overexpressed, or this is the overexpressed receptor over this BBB. So through these technology, we are working on the disease. This was my expertise. We are having a good pool of the faculty member, around 35, and all the faculty are expertise in making these preclinical trials, animal handling, animal model, specifically these are neurodegenerative disease. Sir, my question although you have clear all the fact, but my question is what is the way of the funding agency to evaluate the project, or what are those parameters through which you are evaluating? Just a glimpse.
See, first and foremost happens to be, the expertise of the PI also. But there are many expertise of the PI, the preliminary work he has done, the data he has shown, whether the hypothesis is practical or not, the novelty of that. Novelty to बहुत later stage है, मतलब everything cannot be novel. In some of the cases we do say novelty is one of the factors, but ठीक है लिखने के लिए होगा. But in actual अभी जो हो रहा है that is more towards the translational part. Because and जो government भी देखती है, it sees in a way that this much amount has been supported, has been given. What is the outcome? Basic research से थोड़ा सा translational research में shift है. I think many will be agreeing, and it is across the research scientists सबको they are feeling that the basic से translation में जा रहा है. And moreover, it's like now what I have found that grading, it's like grading. आपका project अच्छा हो सकता है, ठीक है ना, but it does not meet the cutoff. And cutoff is being decided कि how many projects कितनों ने submit किए हैं, कितनों के आए हैं, कितना funding available है, उस पे cutoff may vary. The project can be good, but it cannot meet that cutoff. So वो वाली बात. Otherwise तो place means from where it has been submitted. E-promise में एक मतलब one of the वो है कि आपके पास क्या facilities है. Majority है कि अगर आपके पास facilities हैं, आपने data generate करके दिखाया हुआ है preliminary, तो definitely you are at a advantage state. नहीं नहीं मेरे कहने का मतलब है देखने से भी नहीं, अब पता चल जाता है, डाटा ऐसे थोड़ी जनरेट हुआ होगा ना. एंड द कमिटी मेंबर्स आर अक्रॉस इंडिया से होते हैं. समहाउ दे नो कि वहां है या नहीं है, पता चल जाता है कि इंस्टीट्यूट नहीं, मतलब बेसिकली इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मैटर्स. और अगर अच्छा इंस्टीट्यूट है तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर तो डेफिनेटली होगा. द वे यू हैव शोन कि भाई इतनी सारी चीजें हैं, इतना स्क्वायर फीट ऑफ R&D का स्पेस है, डेफिनेटली वो तो दिखता है.
Just, you said the project does not get approved because of the cutoff or some, limitation in the funds. Then what suggestion would you give to the PI? Because PI doesn't get to know that this was the reason of not getting approved. And then he doesn't, apply it somewhere else. So can there be a mechanism by which, I'm not through because of non-technical reasons? What could be the mechanism?
in such a case, we do communicate to the PIs the plus point of the project. Yeah, and we do mention जो borderline cases होते हैं ना, we do mention to them कि भाई जो स्कोर ही 5 कर रहा है तो उसको तो वी हैव क्लियर कट कि भाई दिस आर द रीजंस इसलिए नहीं हुआ. अदरवाइज जो बॉर्डर लाइन है उनको वी डू मेंशन दैट दीज आर द थिंग्स व्हिच हैव बीन रेटेड एज गुड somehow and these are the things which have been observed by the committee and it is not meeting the cutoff, so we do mention.
First time they sent us the comment, like this one, wrong reply.
Yeah, good afternoon all.
Okay, okay.
I thought there is some guys.
Not a
doing
platform
the-
compare.
For that matter you can revert back to the DBT. हाँ, ठीक है, it can be.
So, yeah, good
Catering to
afternoon.
so many na, so
all.
that might be one of the
So-
reasons. And frankly speaking, कैंसर का कॉल ओपन होता है डे 1 में ही 100 आ जाते हैं. So many research personnel are working on the cancer na, so we do receive lot, although I am not dealing the cancer part, but I have seen that in the internal screening committee जैसे न्यूरो में अगर in a month or so 20-25 मिल रहे हैं तो cancer would be like having hundreds. So
always saying that young scientists who are the body having one and DBT is same, they is senior professor. Actually, they do not look after that. They give to some postdoc or PhD student. That's why they will come and come. That is,
I agree with this.
yeah, because after discussion, a lot of time is over.
Rajesh,
Yeah,
I think
because
I
I
will-
also reviewed DBT.
I would also comment against the biasness of the funding body, biasness in the funding body for many, many reasons. I don't want to quote many examples.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, hello, good afternoon. So basically, I'm Dr. Vinay Latter and I'm working as professor in Amity Institute of Pharmacy. So my specialization is medicinal chemistry and I work on drug discovery using different tools, bioinformatics, chemoinformatics, all molecular modeling. And then we design and synthesize also some ligands. With respect to neuro, my work is on Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. And we have designed small molecules and we have designed some peptides also. Particularly for Alzheimer's, like BASE is the target where we have designed some peptides. And we have screened also from different sources. And then we have tested like, are they working or not? So in 2022, we applied this project also to DBT, but it did not go through. No, it was general. I think at that time, like there was the open calls were there in those, not the neuro division, general call it was.
एक होता है कि कॉल स्पेसिफिक न्यूरो, एक होता है जनरल न्यूरो. मतलब ड्रॉप डाउन में whether you have submitted into the
Yeah,
the drug
neuro.
discovery.
Neuro, yes. Apart from that, like we are working on AMR also, drug resistance, and there we are developing some specific like combination of antibiotics, and there we are like conjugating them with the small molecules which can inhibit the resistance, basically the mechanisms which are causing the resistance. So we are like conjugating these two parts so that we can check like how whether that molecule will work or not.
Hello, sir. I'm Dr. Anvesha Bhattacharya. I am from the Institute of Neurosciences and I'm a Ramanujam Fellow. So currently I'm heading two projects. One is the Ramanujam Fellowship itself from SERB and the other one is core research grant from SERB. And to talk about my PhD, I did my PhD from Max Planck Institute of Biological Cybernetics partly, and the rest from University of Freiburg in Switzerland. I was a Marie Curie postdoctoral fellow in the University of Bern, and I returned back to India with this Ramanujam fellowship. So currently, I'm basically a vision neuroscientist. I have expertise in vision neuroscience, like over 8.5 years. And I'm basically a systems neuroscientist. So currently, I'm investigating like what happens in the vision area of the brain. Like in the hospital area, hospital part of the brain, we have this visual cortex. So when a person starts to get blind because of retinitis pigmentosa, what are the functional repercussions that happen in the visual cortex? I mean, the visual cortex is a laminated structure where different kinds of computations happen. So when there is a degeneration of the photoreceptors, how does it affect the functioning of the brain? So in that respect, I would like to ask you, because I often see calls, Indo-US calls for vision neuroscience, but I don't see such kind of calls like in India specifically that are open for vision neuroscience or for eye disorders.
It's very niche area. That might be one of the reasons. But that would be taken care of by the International Cooperation Division. The International Cooperation Division also calls with respect to what the counterparts are working on. Like जैसे स्वीडन के साथ हमने AI in healthcare किया था, so both the parties were agreeing to that. So it is the US Indo-US the program officer for that might be looking after. But one thing is correct, but it can be taken in the neuro. Like I mentioned, we can work upon these many, but definitely your thing will be in. I will include, and we will have a discussion with the committee members and the stakeholders. कि कौन से particular चीज पे we can call for proposals and all. So, but वही है कि बहुत कम लोग इस पे काम कर रहे होंगे तो will be. I'm not sure, but let's see.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Sunil Kumar, and I have joined Amity in last year only. Before that, I spent about a decade in US, working in different universities, and finally, I was at Duke University in Department of Psychiatry and Behavioral Sciences. My research is basically focused on finding out the global brain neural circuit dynamics in mouse model or animal model of psychological disorders. So I use three cutting edge technology to find out or to control the brain activity. One is optogenetics. So we basically infected the brain cells with the channelrhodopsin, one of the protein, which is activated by the light for a particular wavelength. So you can control the brain activity by stimulating it if you infuse that viral vector in a particular type of cells. And also not only the cell bodies, but you can infuse that in axon also. So you have a cell type specific control of the neural networks. So I'm trying to find out, like, if I stimulate the brain cells on a cortical area, what happened in the subcortical regions. And I consider that every brain disorder is basically a malfunction of the neural network, not as an individual cell. So we are trying to find out these neural networks, you can say neural circuits. Simultaneously, we can stimulate, we can decode the activity from the brain. So both of these technology, we use alternative genetics like mouse models that are being having genetically modified. If we take out some genes and we see the function of network was affected with that gene or not. For example, we use that prefrontal cortex stimulation. We infected these cells in cortical areas and we stimulate that cortical area as we record the activity from the amygdala. That was one of the mouse model that was creating social defeat stress model that we were creating at Duke. And then we found out if we expose the animals for 15 days every day you expose that animal for 5 minutes, social defeat stress. That can change the permanent plasticity of the brain, and the mouse can go into a permanent depressive state. So I'm working on these psychological disorders, and finally we trying to find out these, connecting all these dots of neural circuits, that what we say neural networks is basically going to give us an idea about that what we were working on, like making a pacemaker for brain.
Hello, Dr. Rajesh. I am Dr. Amit Kharkwal from Amity Institute of Microbial Technology, working here as Deputy Director and Associate Professor. So I am working in the area of plant microbe and microbe-microbe interaction for sustainable agriculture. Previously, we have done a project with BIRAC and developed the technologies and transferred the technologies to 5 companies. And recently, I got a project from Translational Research Grant Call for developing a biofungicide, for which funding is just awaited. Next month, it will be given. And my question is that you mentioned biomanufacturing launch, and one of the sub area you mentioned climate resilient agriculture. So will it be launched? Can you throw some light on that?
It will take some time. It will take some time because हालांकि क्या बोलते हैं यूनियन बजट और बजट एलोकेशन में आई टोल्ड इट हैज बीन अप्रूव्ड बट जो प्रोसेस होते हैं कैबिनेट से अप्रूवल वो सारी चीजें चल रही हैं इट विल बी टेकन
Because
the scheme which is on biomanufacturing, it doesn't include, that is only biomanufacturing.
because our group is very strong in the area of climate resilient agriculture, and we are very confident to contribute positively in
जो
that.
थीमेटिक एरियाज बताए थे ना उनका अभी आना बाकी है अभी हब्स एंड एआई हब्स का नहीं है, अभी बायोमैन्युफैक्चरिंग हब्स का हुआ है देन एआई हब्स का होगा देन पर्टिकुलर थीमेटिक एरियाज के हो
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't work in the neuroscience, so I would. Okay, if that's the case, then I would introduce myself to.
बिकॉज अर्लियर बीएम में था यू नेवर नो कब मेरे को दूसरा प्रोग्राम डिवीजन मिल जाए इट्स बेटर वी गॉट टू नो दैट
So yeah, so Rajesh, nice talking to you, and I'm Professor Prakash, Sudesh Prakash. I'm the director of Amity Center for Translational Research. This is a newly established center. A year back, we started with the mandate of developing next generation immune pharmaceuticals for the cancer. And we started with the 3 major domain. One is a TB, second is a cancer, and third is a IBD, which we are now inculcating now. We are developing it. So I'm collaborating with the Subrajit Vishwas on IAP and macrophages with the ICMR project. And with the Manoj, I'm sharing the expertise of the pancreatic cancer. I'm more onto the immunotherapy, So I'm an immunotherapeutic guy. And the long-term goal of the center is to develop the allogenic macrophages, allogenic CAR macrophages, And I have a discussion with Rahul Purwar in IIT Bombay with the immune cap team. So we are now developing a construct, which we can use for making a CD47 positive, CAR macrophages, for it will be in the allogenic macrophages readily available for broad spectrum cancer. So far, the CAR T cell have some restriction. So we are following the CAR macrophages and CAR NK cells in the long run. Now coming to my area, that we are targeting this tumor macrophages, and we are now managing how we can temper the tumor macrophages, which is one of the more critical cells which confer the negative prognosis in many cancers. So we are working with the AIMS, we are working with the Jalma Agra, and we have patented one drug which is infusing the sphingolipid in the host, which can control the tuberculosis burden. And in the past, I have completed 2 DBT projects. One was when I was at Hyderabad University. So as I was also a Ramanujan fellow. So I completed 2 projects on the TB, and I have completed 1 grant from IC from the LSRB DRDO, and I'm from INMAS. So that's what we are now, and hopefully, and I just applied to the biomedical science 1 project. And I'm in discussion with Dr. Sandhya Sinoy. In fact, with Vijay Raghavan also, I was in touch, and Rajesh also, I know Rajesh Gokhale from the TB and lipid background. Yeah. So that's it. Good to see you here.
Hello. Hello, Dr. Rajesh. Thank you for the informations that you gave for funding opportunities. I'm Dr. Madhumita Ghosh from Amity Institute of Biotechnology. I did PhD from Calcutta. Then I moved to NEI, National Eye Institute, NIH, long back, 2002 to 4, 2 years I was there when I started the eye research actually. Then after coming back, I was at Brain Research Center, DBT Institute again, National Brain Research Center for 4 years. Then it's almost 15 years at MET. But my first funded project was from DBT only, regular. It was in a regular scheme, not BioCare. It was about 27 lakh project when it was glaucoma, retinal ganglion cell degeneration. So that was the introduction in neurobiology. So means retinal ganglion cell degeneration, we were looking for a combination of antioxidants with lithium that heals and repairs the ganglion cells, which is very difficult because vision loss in glaucoma or retinopathy is due to the retinal ganglion cell degeneration only. So people are always looking of decreasing the intraocular pressure, but nobody tells about ganglion cell regeneration. So then that project was that ended, but later on we tried to with somebody at nanomedicine here, I tried to put up formulation of that, but that project didn't get funded from DBT. Later on CRB we got again, I got a project of diabetic retinopathy where angiogenesis, how neovascularization which is there in diabetic retinopathy, that was that we could show that that could be treated with a combination. So that was also a good experience. But DBT, later on, I applied on that scheme of BioRack also in BioRack scheme that for the formulation, but that didn't got 2 trials. We went to that CGO complex, presented, but they were of the opinion later on that lithium may be toxic to the eye. But we know that lithium is very good used for brain disorders also, bipolar disorder and all. But that was the objection. And Dr. Sandhya also, she gave that opinion that this could not be. But now I'm again thinking of putting up in DBT. But which schemes should I put? Biomedically put. Many times I think of that vision program, but Indo-US, which might, because the funding is not much in there. So it's NIH and India that.
Indo-US के लिए तो फिर वो particular open भी तो होना चाहिए.
हाँ, open, वो सिर्फ अक्टूबर में open होता है. पर उसमें भी वही लगता है कि मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा.
Try तो करना चाहिए.
Well, Rajesh, if you link to this, I have 2 points. So there are 3 areas. One is the proof of concept. Second is the scale up. There are 2 areas within the biomedical. I just started uploading the project. Okay. I saw that there are 2 areas which I always see. One is the proof of concept at early stage, and the second is the scale up and demonstration at a large scale. So what is the criteria of these 2 areas?
एक तो हाइपोथेसिस को जस्ट वेरीफाई करने के लिए वो वाला प्रूफ ऑफ कांसेप्ट में जाएगा. छोटे वाले जो प्रोजेक्ट होते हैं ना, प्रूफ ऑफ कांसेप्ट में जो नॉर्मली 3 to 5 years वाला है, दैट गोस टू द स्केल अप irrespective of क्या लिखा हुआ है.
But the funding is within 1 crore.
Within
just having half of the 1 crore. That's biomedical science.
PI driven would be in that case.
E-prom is whether it is proof of concept or scale up will have invariably a gap of the 1 crore. So you can't, boost it up to the 2 or 3 or 4.
In that case, if something is really,
we have already demonstrated in the patient cohort, and we want to test it in the larger cohort, and but that will be the scale up, correct?
But that thing.
What can be done is that in that case, I think BIRAC can also be approached. Apart from that, like one is through calls, and another approach is that if something really remarkable is there, and you can see the contact person of that particular division in the DBT ke jo website mein, it's clearly, so you can get in touch with them and ask for the suitable time, get the consent ki bhai haan theek hai, we want to show ye sari cheezein hain. In that case, it would be a different route. It won't be through e-promise wala, but it. Great.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Bhupesh Sharma, and I am working with MIT Institute of Pharmacy. And my main area of interest is neuro only. And we have established the non-transgenic preclinical models, animal models, for autism spectrum disorder, ADHD, and for dementia. So for these three areas, we have animal models, and we are working on pharmacological interventions right now, where we are trying to use various novel targets as well as their modulators for getting the proof of concept for the benefit in these conditions. So only thing is, my question is, DBT can give the grant for mechanistic studies, or it is always product based? We can apply. So because if you see the tools which we are using, these are the chemicals which we are using. So whether it has to be biotechnologically only?
But if it is targeting the diseases you are saying, no, then fine.
Okay, thank you.
I think 10 more minutes, I think we are also joined by a few of the faculties online. Is Dr. Atanu Banerjee still there from MIT University, Haryana? Dr. Banerjee, are you there?
No, sir, he leave.
Hello? No. Dr. Shrivastava, I think he left. He was there. Anchit Gugnani. Dr. Anchit?
Yes, sir, I'm here, sir.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, very good afternoon, probably good evening now. I was listening through all and I don't want to take much time. I just have like one little question to ask, like, because this is for young researchers. This is for young researchers. I just want to just know that how much the credentials of PI matter if a project is submitted. Like if I'm working on something new, I am from the physiotherapy department. I'm at the Institute of Physiotherapy and I'm working on ambulation devices for spinal cord injured and paralytic patients. And as of now, I haven't published any paper, but I'm just working on some devices that are to be made for ambulation of the patient. So just in case if I submit a project, so how much are the credentials of the PI matter? Or is it's just the matter that I'm sending, the project writing that I'm sending?
No, data matters.
So if I don't have any publications, if I don't have any publications of the research that I'm doing currently, and if I submit a project, will it hamper the selection process?
Certainly.
All right. So I cannot apply unless I have already published a paper. I need to publish a paper and do some kind of study.
Not paper. Like I said, कोई preliminary data होगा, some proof of concept if it can be showed. मतलब कुछ तो होगा जिसपे based on that the committee does think that this person has. मतलब it's like you will be called for the the presentation also. ऐसा नहीं है कि you won't be allowed to defend yourself. If there is matter to your subject, definitely if you can defend your project well, irrespective of you have published or not.
Correct. So I will be given a chance. That means
definitely.
So sadly, unfortunately, what happens is because I'm
getting a one.
Sorry.
Getting through is a different part, and putting your part before the committee, definitely you will have the upper hand.
All right. The reason I'm asking because unfortunately for us physiotherapists, when the call comes out, it is not directly related to any part of the physiotherapy. So whenever there is a call, we have to make way through it and we have to think how can we relate physiotherapy to the particular call. So if we're thinking that time, so we cannot have already published research on that topic. So, but we have good concepts and we can prove ourselves. So if given a chance to present ourselves, definitely that can be done. So that is what I just wanted to hear. Thank you so much.
Now we are also joined online, faculty from AUP Noida. Dr. Tinku Basu, are you there? Dr. Tanu Jindal?
Yes, sir, I'm there. Professor Tinku Basu speaking over here, sir.
Okay, Dr. Basu, go ahead.
Yeah.
Quick comments or clarification.
Thank you, sir, for this kind of meeting. And I've just gone through the entire discussion. We are working on neuroprotective drug, some complex we have developed, and we got a project from ACRB. But right now, we would like to, we are working also on a biosafe MRI contrast agent for blood clot detection. Depending on the size of the blood clot, we are trying to make a targeted MRI contrast agent that will be biosafe, much better than the existing gadolinium-based contrast agent. So just can you suggest that where we could join over there? Before going, because it is almost going to end, so I just give my introduction. I am Professor Tinku Basu. I'm looking after Amity Center for Nanomedicine. So we are dedicatedly working on nano-based applications in health area. So my question is that I would like to apply for a project, targeted MRI contrast agent for thrombolytic applications, is basically stroke. So where can I apply for that?
As of now, it's biomedical sciences.
But the problem is this: I have applied. I have one first project. I did it from DBT only, that cholesterol biosensor. But after that, whenever I am applied, it is going to the nano divisions. It doesn't go automatically. It is shifted to the nano. This is my experience. So,
but now you won't face this issue because now only biomedical sciences is taking care of these kind of projects. Now it won't be transferred to nano.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Moreover, nano abhi raha hi nahi because it's like any of the formulations, either it be nano, if it is targeting a particular disease which is having a DBT is having a specific division for that. Like in case of neuro mein, तो nano formulation for a disease to cure the neurological disorders will be taken care by the neuro. ऐसा हो गया था, but in the meantime अब तो खैर biomedical sciences is the only option left with you now.
Okay.
Thank you, madam. Last, Dr. Subhash Chandra, are you there?
Hello.
Dr. Subhash Chandra.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, am I audible? Thank
Yes,
you so
yes.
much, sir, for this wonderful discussion. I have listening from the beginning, and I have known the various schemes, so it's a wonderful experience. And day before yesterday, we got a funding from DBT, in which my director Harsha ma'am is the PI on rapid biodegradability testing of the under aerobic condition from DBT. Under this call, we are evaluating the degradation studies. Basically, the problem currently is that the gold standard is the CO2 evaluation is measured. That is the marker of the degradation. But now we will incorporate with some kinetic study where oligomer, the other intermediates will be considered, and we will extrapolate that data with the real-time kinetic study to measure to shorten the duration of this biodegradability. And sir, my specific query is this biomanufacturing, which you told this is about to release. This is particular interest for me. Being a medicinal chemist, like we track the different difficulties, particularly like some chemical synthesis, where in laboratory condition is required 5 to 6 steps. But under enzymatic conditions, it specifically we can synthesize in a single step. Wherever we can cut short that different steps, and although there are different difficulties. So my specific query is, sir, at what level of that scalability is considered in this project? So like, I'm not from biotechnology domain, I'm a medicinal chemist, but we have a good pool of researcher of biotechnology here. So I will try to tie up with biotechnical researcher. So where which scheme, biotransformation are transformation difficult for at chemical synthesis for industrial perspective, so that we can target by the enzymatic transformations. Like, would it be for the small scale also, or it will be specifically for that the pilot plant or the commercial level? This particularly biomanufacturing
Level पे the small scale is more than sufficient.
Okay, sir.
moreover, as you have mentioned that ये आपका जो काम होगा वो green chemistry पे होगा, if I'm not wrong.
Basically, I'm a drug discovery researcher. I have a project from CERB also, that is on bioavailability enhancement. I'm a medicinal chemist, so I tie up with some industries and the diverse
Like you
research.
mentioned that ki chemical synthesis से
Yeah,
ना,
yeah, sir. Yeah, from
enzymatic
green
synthesis you are
chemistry, yes,
looking.
sir. Yes, for green
Enzymatic
chemistry
synthesis पे
aspect.
you are focusing on, na?
Yes, yes, sir. Enzymatic synthesis.
The
Yes.
biomanufacturing concept is all that only. Hopefully,
Yes,
you will be getting the information regarding the submission of projects for that as soon as the approval is there.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I think after listening to all the faculty members, now it's the time. Then we have the expert opinion and expert comment. Over to Dr. B.N. Mal.
Okay, good evening. It's a dangerous thing. Don't tell me expert opinion because neither I am from DBT nor as a decision-making body at this moment. Okay, to come to the point, I think this is a very good opportunity that we are talking to each other and trying to understand. It is, I think Dr. Kangal has heard from all these people. And the first thing is I would request him to be the link to convey this message to the chief. Okay, that interaction has to be there. Now, I would put it this way. Whatever research we do, there will be different fields. And if you do the research in this field, and we are talking about biology, but doesn't mean that non-biology cannot work. So that research will keep on continuing. If that continues, we need two things, human resources and the funding things. DBT on one hand is started, DBT for that matter, DST, CSIR, all these funding agencies started for the funding. On the other hand, UGC for human resource development. This is how anywhere in the world it works. Here, when it started, DBT like 1986 to be precise. Then also it used to be under DST for finance, check signing, it used to go from this to DST and things were working. Now, if that be so, then also to promote these things in the country, we started with funding the research and then some fellowships. And there, when nobody else was getting anything, so DBT was funding for masters through DBT exam. And there were many, even the course and other things, I was also involved in development and all. So there were 3,000 rupees fellowships, right? And then in 1999, of course, it started several years, we started NBRC. Now I'm coming specifically to neuroscience. And then there was nothing as, if you talk about neuroscience research in these countries, even 1940s, 50s, there was some work. Even great Dikshit had acetylcholine, and that is how it was in the name of Dikshit Library, AIMS. But we did not have those things. So to develop that, these are the policy making. I will not go for individual project, which you have heard. Somebody who is working today on X can move tomorrow to something and expertise will be there. I, as a so-called heading this department and reasonably knowing policies of this country and how things are working, I would request you if you can carry forward this to your organizational meeting going up to secretary. So what will happen, what DBT had done, even to Gwalior University when you had given neuroscience, they also started giving at least 5 fellowship for the DBT who had qualified those qualifications, DBT, JRF, and for master's student getting fellowship. Why? Because we did not have human resources. So I'll come back to this, that if you want specifically, even 1940s, 50s, and even now, it's not that neuroscience research is not doing. Even if whatever you have heard, many people are talking neuroscience research, but they don't have a BSc, MSc in neuroscience. That does not mean anybody who has not been doing biological science cannot do neuroscience. A physicist can work. Similarly, neural transplant has been done by not a neurotechnician. All right. This is how science moves. but always there are ways to do as a policy. In that sense, I admire this Amity University for whatever reason. They started first time in the country to have human resources development as undergraduate neuroscience. It is not there anywhere in the country. We as a country, if we think we have to promote neuroscience, which is, why? Because if you talk about anybody, this is a century of brain. If you talk about 2000, Watson and Crick, the Crick had said, we need to understand the brain because in this universe, whatever we try to understand, we understand by the same brain. Be it we understand this coffee, to a disease, to computer science, to artificial intelligence, whatever we do. Either I have to rob somebody or I have to train somebody to prevent robbing the brain. And cognitive science to ultimate consciousness, which be it Einstein to Newton to Ramakrishna. Everybody has been working, whether it is science or not science. Therefore, I think if the country's policy has to move, other countries have started. Therefore, either UGC has to give or this. Now, if that is not there, unlike 20 years back, why we started master's degree in NBRC? Because human resource development was not there. Why we started with Professor Tandon in Gwalior to give a few fellowship to masters, but then whatever reason it did not. There are pockets, be it BHU, be it Calcutta University, be it St. Madras University, NBRC, JNU, were giving specifics on neuroscience. But all in masters and PhD, not grown people, which Amity has started even at undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD. Therefore, my earnest request, I wouldn't take too much of time. As a policy, I think what DBT should take up. DST can take up, but DST doesn't have Neuroscience Institute. Why I'm specifically talking about DBT? DBT has NBRC. DBT has done for Jivaji. DBT has promoted this way, and therefore there is a task force on neuroscience, which others do not have. Yes, DST started consciousness, cognitive science, but they have wound up now, and because they are doing other things. Therefore, this is the thing, and if you are heading it, I think through you, I would promote, and I can, if you want, certainly we can come, Rajesh Gokhale locally, and along with you, maybe Vandana Prajapati, at your level, probably in DBT and all. The other day, suddenly I met her in the airport, at the flight. So the point I would request to have a policy, whichever way, to promote this, to give some funding, because research specifically will depend on person and what type of project, that, as you have rightly said, be it crore rupees project or few thousand rupees project, that will keep on going. But for developing neuroscience, which is needed, because in today's world, unlike decade back, not even 100 years back, there are 21 IITs, ICERs, NICERs, DBT Institute, DST Institute, CSIR institutes. On an average, there are 2 faculty. You need minimum of 100 trained manpower, and for that, you need at least double the number. Some will go for business, some will go abroad, some will go something. For the country to capitalize it, you need something, and please promote this, and therefore give some funding to develop the basic lab. Because unless you develop a lab, as you are a PhD, why did you come to NIPG and not somewhere else where you did your master's? Because it has a place to do and do some work. Unless you do that, I cannot attract, or the university cannot attract a good faculty. And if you cannot do that, good student will not come. So this is a vicious cycle. Therefore, like you have venture capital, private organization cannot do that. Government taxpayers can do that. So for example, what you can do, I cannot say what you can do, I can propose. You have DBT through Builder program. DST has FIST program. Some things like that, other program. UGC has UPOE. UGC has something like the other project, I'm forgetting the name. So these have been there. Therefore, my request, Since you have a very localized and you have a task force on this, do whichever mechanism, not a big sum, only 3, 4 crores, that's it, for a few years. You give mechanism that these have to be followed and we will deliver. If you do that, see, for everything, you do something that is cup has been created for coffee. Doesn't mean that I cannot drink water. Doesn't mean that I cannot drink wine, right? Similarly, if you do that in this process, other faculty members can go ahead with it. You name it old wine, new bottle, CIF, Central Institute Facility, Instrument Facility. You name it common facility, you name it something, we can do it. But you need some focus, somebody to anchor on. This anchoring, you have the mechanism. You either put it in some manner. I would think this is what is required. That will help in many ways, where there will be some funding and some consumable. You'd give it for 5 years. For example, you do something as a scientist, where you give 2 positions for scientists with the agreement they have to be taken over by, we will request through these people to our requested, to respected founder president. Okay, these positions can be created. Like you have this thing we are doing. We can detail can be worked out, but I'm talking in principle, this is what it can work, which is not there in DST, CSIR and all, which with hearing everything that you can have. Today, I'm working on disease X, tomorrow I can go to Y. You can work on plant system. You work from the plant and work on Alzheimer's. That doesn't mean one has become a neuroscientist. If you work something on chemistry, work on brain, certainly a chemical, a nanoparticle, that doesn't mean one has become a nanotechnician or nanoscientist. We have to understand these things. And this is what I would pass on through you. What you are saying, I understand the limitations of many, many questions have been asked to you. That depends on, as a policymaker, when you go through 20 years, then you will be in a position to say, and after you have a broad ideas. So I think if you can carry over this message, I think it will help in many, many ways. I appreciate your time. I appreciate for calling me, and then it might help the system. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Malik. Now over to Dr. Neeraj Sharma.
So thank you very much. Thanks, first of all, on behalf of the Honorable Founder President, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, the Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, sparing your valuable time here, Rajesh. We know the processes involved in DBT, DST, and how things happen over there. You have given quite a good glimpse of what DBT programs are, DBT activities are, how the scientists can work upon. You said a very important thing, which is the government is focusing more on translational part. Now, that's very important. When we do research, when I was in DST, we always used to think about it. It's not just only the publications which should come out of a research. How are we taking this to the society? I think all of us here are concerned in MET, including the founder president himself, because he has been telling that when we do research, we have to take it forward. You know, it is not just for the sake of publications or patents. Has to be, you know, a step forward, leading towards at least not commercialization, but a step ahead, moving that. I think that's very important point that you made, that government is focusing more on the translational part. You have seen the glimpse of, these are only a few people over here, and there are many of them who have not been able to come over here. So we have invited only a few based on their experience, based on their qualifications, work, and so on in the research. And so therefore they're here, and they have talked about themselves. They've talked about their research work. There are difficulties, I think some people have posed in getting the funding from DBT. There are challenges we also face from DST also, that they don't even reply back by saying what are the reasons of not recommending the proposal. I mean, these are some things which you can take a message. And also, if you have some time, next time you can visit the labs over here. The molecular medicine and stem cell research is a good lab. The translational research is a good lab. AIB, the biotechnology people, they have a good lab. The neuroscience is a so all inclusive, this entire campus. This is a very vibrant campus in research and development. You have seen just a glimpse of it. So once again, I thank you very much for coming here, sparing your time. Rather more time, we have taken more time from you, maybe half an hour more. So once again, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Neeraj. Lastly, only one thing. Now you have seen that in the canvas, on the canvas which we are working, And I'll also request then when you are at DBT, you see that how the multidisciplinarity at MIT, how you can leverage. Suppose there is a top-down scheme where you need some institute with this kind of expertise. So MIT would be more than happy to participate in any of your programs in times to come. And I think before I hand over to Koshki for, thanks, but I will say that FSTIA team, I think they have done a good job in arranging. Harjinder and her team, Koshki, and thanks to STIF. I think I find STIF people are there. Parul and Bhugra, Colonel Gopal is also sitting. Thanks to everyone. Over to you.
Thank you, Singh sir, for your remarks. We are extremely grateful to our Honorable Founder President Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan sir, our Honorable Chancellors, our Honorable Vice Chancellor Madam for being the driving force, our constant support of motivation, and for always inspiring us to become the foundation bearers of their vision and mission of making India a knowledge superpower. We sincerely extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest of the evening, Dr. Rajesh Gangal sir, for gracing us with his invaluable expertise and delivering an excellent lecture. We are deeply honored to have had the privilege of learning from you, and we look forward to applying these valuable lessons gained from your lecture in all our endeavors ahead. Keeping up with Amity's tradition, I would now like to take this opportunity to request Dr. B.N. Malik sir to felicitate Dr. Rajesh Gangal sir with a token of appreciation by offering him a memento to acknowledge and show our gratitude for his constant dedication and perseverance.
Yes. हाँ ग्रुप फोटो बिल्कुल राजेश का जल्दी से आ जाओ आओ आप ही नहीं बिल्कुल अरे आ जाओ कब कोई की आ जाओ come. Thank you. Okay, Rajesh, thank you. Thanks for coming. Malik sir.